Hello, and welcome to the Culture Cave. We're here to talk about the Expanse. Emmett, say hi to the people, Emmett.
Hi, and so is my dog Violet. She's very adamant that she'll say hi today. You
Violet has
know,
some strong opinions on this episode of the Expanse. We'll say that.
we had to put her outside. She was going crazy. She just wanted to talk about what she thought about the character development and people's arcs.
Yeah,
This
she was trying to
season.
resurrect a dead mouse on the floor of
You know,
Emmett's room there, and
yeah,
those dogs, they are resurrection machines after all.
yeah. Sometimes just I like leave Violet unattended every now and again, and she just resurrected a random person, and I'm just like, Violet, you can't keep doing this in the house all the time. Like, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to feed and clothe this resurrected person? Like, come on, I can barely feed and clothe myself. Do you see what I wear? You
Yeah,
know?
not to mention the creepy nature of that resurrected person.
Yeah. Oh my
Like we
god.
haven't really touched upon that at the start of these videos yet, but that it sort of went the direction we thought it was going to go. And
Yeah,
the little
zombie brother.
boy, the little boy is now like a zombie. And I don't know about you, when he was first sitting in between those dogs, I actually was a bit scared for a minute.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, it was. He's got like the weird sort of protomolecule eye thing
Yeah,
going
yeah.
on where they're like glowing. So obviously it's connected with the protomolecule in some way, but we kind of knew it had to be connected
Hmm.
to the protomolecule in some way because like we've seen that it's able to do crazy stuff like this before. So I don't know, is he going to be like some sort of like prophet of the
Oh, that'd be cool.
protomolecule? Is that what he's being set up to be? Even though we probably won't get to see it. It's just going to be like a thing that we're sort of exposed to.
Well, in the seventh, eighth, and ninth book, potentially that character is important.
Grows up, yeah,
Yeah.
grows up and becomes a person. But yeah, no, we obviously the way that they had set it up, with the bird dying and them
Hmm.
resurrecting him,
Yeah.
it's definitely a creepy vibe. I'm getting like cuckoo vibes from it. Where like you put a bird that looks like one of the chicks into the nest,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
then it sort of takes over from there.
That's what it's wanted the whole time. What I think is interesting is that I was watching this with Ema. Ema was in the room. She's not really been watching The Expanse with me really, but I said like she was talking to me, and then I was like, hang on. That kid's just become alive again, and she's like, I honestly have no idea what's going on in this show. And
I
I'm
feel
like,
like you can
okay,
even sometimes when you're watching it very closely, I feel like you can say, I have no idea what's going on in this show. I'm invested, but I don't know what's happening. You
yeah.
know?
So that's that. We'll see how the solution to that little sort of mini story happens in the next one.
Yeah.
Um, but the main storyline is heating up now. Obviously, we're here to talk about episode 4 and 5, which means we're probably going to be mostly talking about episode 5. Let's be honest, because that is the one that's just setting up the season finale. In episode 4, there was some interesting stuff. For example, the crew finding out about James Holden disarming the missile, and then also Philip has been sent down to work, and he found the missile as well, to work. I don't even know what the guy's job is, but basically going and repairing the ship. I don't know what you call
Yeah,
that job.
he's like a lower maintenance guy, basically. It's his job to kind of do all the shitty stuff that no one else wants to do.
Yeah.
Like cleaning up the outside. Doing the real like dangerous unsung hero stuff of like making sure that there's no like holes in the ship that are going to cause like a massive like fault the next time they're hit.
Yeah, he's really skillful too. 'Cause like you said, they dropped the bit of metal, and he like turned the bottle around and picked it up.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, he's good. He's doing
I,
his job.
I I loved him trolling Phil with the warhead
Hmm.
where they're taking it out and he pretends like it's like he's got his arm trapped,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
which ends up foreshadowing the fate of
Yes.
someone else like later on who does get their arm trapped in a thing,
Yeah.
and they don't have as nice of an ending. We'll say that much.
I love that you called him
Um,
Phil there. Jeez, you're in
yeah,
you're nickname terms with him. I love that.
me and Phil, good bros. Now
Yeah.
we're both belters, fighting against the inners. I just have a bit more of an inner dialect,
Yeah.
because
Double.
I spent some.
Old Phil doubling down on the Belter stuff there didn't give
Yeah.
you pause for concern. I bet your old mate.
Oh no, not at all. I'm a true hard line. I want to wipe out the inners. Let's kill them all. It's like Philip's really going through like because obviously these last 2 episodes, this whole season has been big for Philip, and
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of his actor, but fair play to him. Like I think he's doing a great job portraying like a young man sort of adrift in this sort of like extremist sort of group, and
Yeah.
all these different pulls that he feels on his character.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think he's doing a great job portraying it. I think Philip is a very interesting character. He's also a very frustrating character to watch because you just want to see him get his shit together. But like his whole arc is him currently not knowing how to get his shit together.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah, I'm interested in the Philip stuff. Every single episode, I'm thinking, is this the point where Philip turns good? Is this the point? I don't think he's gonna. I think maybe Philip is gonna be maybe his character was supposed to be like a big bad in the last trilogy.
What if like Marco dies and just Phil takes like control of the Free Navy? What if he becomes the new Marco? You know, like it's.
I think actually let's talk about Marco for a second because obviously Phil is Phil. He's going on his own little journey right now. He's like
We'll talk about Marky Mark now.
Okay, all right, Marky Mark, all right. I'm over here with Jimmy and Bobby. They're my boos. But you got Marky Mark. Now, one thing I'll say about I do not like. Now, I've mentioned in the previous few episodes that I think they're speeding through this an awful lot. It's giving me last season of Game of Thrones vibes. Obviously, better storytelling than that, though.
Yes, not a high bar to meet, but no. Still they're meeting that bar.
Right.
Which is good.
So there is better storytelling, but it is just going so quickly, and I just really feel like 100% the creators of this show wanted 10 episodes as well, but they gave them 6, and I think that there really does feel like Amazon just saying, "Here you go, take that, finish your story." I really feel that way, and I think one thing, I'm sure this is in the book, but one thing that's annoying me this season is the woman who's like Marco's right-hand man now, and she's literally just a plot device so that Marco is still doing all of the things that a hardline authoritarian leader of like a terrorist group would do, but he doesn't want to do that. Yeah. You know, they're letting him have the character development of being like, okay, I want to go and, get revenge on the Rocinante. I want to do this. I don't want to do that. Whereas she's there saying, but you need to, because you need to look strong, And like, so she is like the de facto leader of the OPA or like the Free Navy. And I personally don't like that. Marco is becoming weakened to me because of that. I think that he is less of a authoritarian, big bad guy, and I don't. Because the thing is, the character development they're adding into him isn't giving me any empathy for him. It's just making me think that he's not as committed to his goal as he is.
Yeah. It's one of those scenarios of it's like really hard to be like the devil on the shoulder of the guy who's already been bombarding the earth and killing loads of civilians. It's like it's hard to like make that a convincing character. And I think we've had a few of these characters now where like obviously other actors like weren't able to return for various reasons. So like we've had to like insert other characters in very quickly to sort of fill out the season. And maybe this character just isn't getting like the screen time to like really make them like a three-dimensional character. But yeah, they're one of the more, flat characters there to kind of keep the momentum in the Free Navy sort of moving,
while letting Marco have his mind on other things, which he shouldn't have his mind on other things.
He should be doing the Free Navy thing. He should be focused on getting all that shit done. No, to be fair, like Marco is still in my mind a really great villain in the sense of like, he has such complex relationships with like the actual other characters, if you know what I mean. Like Philip, I do love the tense relationship that they have, and I did really like I think it was in episode 5, one scene between Marco and his current right hand where they discuss his father and the fact that he didn't have a father, really. His father wasn't around, so like as much as he is a horrible person, like, and quite abusive to Philip, my good friend Phil, like he still thinks he's like done better than his father ever did by showing up. So you can see how that like his upbringing really colors his view of what a father is, and like how he should. So like for him, he feels like he gets an award for just being there. Never mind the fact that he's like abusive, but I think that's a really interesting insight into like the character of Marco, because it's like, all right, he didn't have his father, like did he have his mother, like what was his life growing up on? Like I really want to know more about like how Marco was shaped into like the person he became, you know?
Yeah, I think that is interesting. I think that like, and I think it's very realistic that sort of justification Marco's making for his parenting, saying, "Well, I just being here is better than nothing." Having said that, even in real life, when people justify things like that, I think that's real
Yeah.
retrospective justification.
Oh,
It's like
100%. Like
it's like you
he's
have been,
wrong.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're wrong. You have been selfish. You have been you've ignored your child. You've been abusive to your child. And now, just because you're being questioned on it, you're saying, "Well, I didn't even have a dad." So, like,
Yeah.
it's retrospective justification, and I think it doesn't endear me to Marco at all.
And ironically, I don't think it's necessarily meant to like necessarily endear. I think it's supposed to like give you a wee bit of an insight
Oh
on
yeah,
like
it's building his
why he
character
did.
out. Yeah,
Yeah, but also ironically, the people that say that shit constantly are also the kind of people who hate the concept of a participation trophy. Yet that's
yeah,
all they're going for when being a parent. It's like I showed up. Yeah, you get a participation trophy. You were still a shitty parent, you know.
that's
It's like,
great.
but I showed up. You know.
Yeah, yeah. I just love the idea of like of justifying it that way, and then you really like let's draw it back to the start. So you're telling me that when you had a kid, you were like, "Well, I'm just gonna be there for him, nothing else.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna like that decision."
That was the
horrific.
goal that you set. It's
Yeah.
like I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be horrible to him all the time, but I'm gonna be there. You
Yeah.
know,
I'm gonna use him as like a shield not to get hit by a missile. You know.
yeah. I'm gonna make it so he wishes that I wasn't there, but I'll be there.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. What an idiot. But okay, yeah. So that's Marco. I wanted to talk about him for a little bit. So yeah, I think that his one episode left. Is this episode must
Yeah.
be? It's gonna have to be like over an hour long. This one.
Please let it be like a big long episode. We deserve like a big long episode to like finish out the season because like it's a great show. I really love it, but if like they speed through this ending, it's going to be quite sort of unsatisfying. As long as we can like finish out the Free Navy plot, I think I'll be like overall pretty happy with how the season turned out.
Yes,
but you
yes,
know.
yes.
Yeah, but like I'll still be quite upset if we sort of speed run through it.
Yeah,
But like
yeah.
I did love because like some people complain about like shows having like politics and stuff like that, which I think is silly because like
Everything has politics.
Yeah, everything has politics.
Politics is morals. Politics is morals.
Politics is morals. Politics are like the sacrifices that you have to make for those morals and like what you're willing to give up to accomplish your goals. And I absolutely loved the stuff with Drummer the last episodes.
Yeah,
and Avasarala because like it's like just looking at how Avasarala has changed as a character from like season one. She has such a great arc. I love Avasarala.
Even in her costume, I've noticed. Even in her costume, she's now more sort of like gritty, more sort of.
Yeah.
Still is very flashy, but still more practical now. Whereas back in the day, it was like just wear these huge over-the-top dresses and torture belters.
Yeah, and torture belters. Like and I loved her having the self-awareness to be like, belters have no goddamn reason to trust me, you know, because of the horrible stuff that I've done. But I've never lied to them. It's like I've always been upfront about the fact. Yeah, I've always been upfront about the fact that I used to be a horrible person.
Yeah,
and I love the alliance that her and Drummer make, and like the moment of having that on Series Station, because obviously like we started the show basically with Series Station to a certain degree, so like having them like shake hands on there, you know, really makes sense, and like having that alliance for him. And Drummer is just such a great character. I absolutely love her. I can't wait till that Telltale game comes out and we get to play as Drummer, because she's just the best. She's one of the coolest characters, you know.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think it's true. I like the big alliance. It's interesting to see where it's going to go. I think that Drummer, the actress who plays Drummer, did a really good job in episode 5 of like building up to the decision to shake the hand, and I think showing as well, like, you know, the other belters saying, you know, oh, there's the Inna's favorite pet, and she still chose what was right for her people. I think that she has a lot of integrity, and I'm interested to see after. I'm assuming they're gonna. Well, maybe they won't, but as it currently stands now, I know there's a trilogy we're not going to see yet. As it currently stands now, this was a normal thing. The Innas and the Belter, alliance would win this. I don't know if that's going to happen, because the thing is, we still have all that stuff now. I was thinking about this the other day, and I just was like, oh yeah, we've mentioned it a few times. You know, those Martians like went through the belt, through the ring. Like, what was it, Admiral Sauveture or something like that? Like, that was huge in season 5. Where the hell is that guy?
Yeah, but I think that's part of the sacrifice of like we're not getting another season. It's like we're probably not going to get like a proper resolution to that plot arc in the show itself. I'm assuming we'll have to dig into the books when we get a chance and like get
There
into
is,
like
there is some interesting stuff though, like
like whole
the rail guns
yeah
on the Medina station. There must be something to do with that. Like they were going, there must be something to do with. There's something going on here.
Yeah, and Holden obviously making note of the fact that like when like big enough ships pass through the rings,
Yeah,
it seems to have like an interesting like they just seem to like disappear.
yeah,
There seems to be some sort of like plot going on which is tying into like the creatures from beyond the veil.
yeah.
These monsters that people don't like understand. So it's I feel like the Martian plot is very much linked in with that. And the Belter Earth Alliance thing and the war with the Free Navy is obviously the thing that's distracting them from being able to like follow that lead.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I'm one episode's a lot to do. There's a lot to do in it, but I'll say like the we've got a few people who listen to this our reviews of these episodes, and they've read the books, and I don't want it to come across like me being overly negative, but I'm sure this season is great for you because you're getting to see the actual playing out of all your of your a great book. But the thing is, I really think it should have been 10 episodes. I think it is the actual getting the story for the first time through this condensed, quick manner. It is
it's harming the narrative.
It's harming it for me. Not to the point where I'm not enjoying it. I still think it's an amazing show, and I really, really enjoy watching it. But I just would have loved an extra 4 episodes.
I will never say no to more Expanse. If you know what I mean, I've been loving the show, and I'll agree with you. Obviously a lot of stuff is being rushed for the sake of like getting it into 6 episodes. But there are, like we've discussed, and like we've discussed over the last 2 episodes that we've done, like there are lots of little gems in this season. There's a lot of really great moments. It's just we're having to speed run through so much other stuff that it's a shame. Like even like another 2 episodes would be great. Like we could let it breathe a bit more. But 6 is what we got, so 6 is what we have to work with, unfortunately.
Okay, well there we go. Well, before we go then, Emmett, is there any predictions for the last episode of the season?
Ooh, I feel like Marco is gonna die. Yeah, I feel like there's no way that like you resolve this plot with him still alive. I don't think he's the type to let himself be taken alive. So I think we're gonna lose Marco, which is a shame because he's a very good villain, if you mean, and well acted. And I think we're gonna maybe. I get the vibe that like leading up to this is like the end of a second trilogy before a major time skip in the books and the last episode of this season. I feel like we're gonna lose a few characters. I feel like that's the show started off with that kind of feeling that characters could die at any moment.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're gonna have that brought back a little bit, and we're probably gonna lose a few in the final assault. I don't know who. But I feel like we're going to lose a few people that we've grown attached to.
Yeah, who was that legend we lost in like the first episode? What was his name? Shop or something? Shed?
Shed. We closed the door on Shed quite hard.
Gone but not forgotten. Shed. Jeez.
Poor Shed. The man who never got to be a member of the Rosinante properly.
That's great. All right, guys. Well, we'll see you next week for the season finale then, and we'll look forward to it. We'll hopefully not be disappointed, and we'll hopefully have some resolutions. So we'll catch you later. Goodbye.